Hi everyone, so this is the problem that we solved in class today on March 2nd, and you can come back to this video if you need to know how to do the drawing on the assignment or if you just need help answering the problem. So this was the practice problem, and then you did 3 problems. We did 2 together, and then you did 1 on your own. This is not on your assignment. This is the problem that I did in front of you, but it will still help you if you forget how to do anything. So remember the RDW process. R stands for read, D stands for draw, W stands for write. So the first thing we need to do is we need to read the problem and highlight any important information. So I'm going to read the problem. In 1 month, Charlie reads 814 pages. In the same month, his mom read 4 times as many pages as Charlie, and that was 143 pages more than Charlie's dad read. What was the total number of pages read by Charlie and his parents? So now I'm going to go through and I'm going to highlight the important information. How you highlight is you come up to the top here where this little marker is, and then you make your marker whatever color you want. Remember, you don't want to do anything that's too dark, because if you choose something like this dark blue and then you try to highlight, you might not be able to see the text, or you won't be able to see it very well, okay? So to highlight, you're going to use your mouse, and you're going to, before you actually have clicked to the highlight, you're going to highlight the thing that you want to make a different color with your mouse so that you have this light blue box around it. And then you're going to come up to the highlight tool and click whatever color you want. I'm going to make mine light purple. That way I can still read it. So I highlighted that Charlie read 814 pages because I think that that's important. That's exactly how much Charlie read. I'm also going to highlight his mom read 4 times as many pages as Charlie. So that's important because even though it doesn't tell us exactly how many pages his mom read, it tells us how we can find it. So again, to highlight, you're going to click down on your mouse or on your mouse pad and drag until what you want highlighted turns this blue. I think on some people's computers, it might also be green or gray. And then you're going to go up to the highlight tool and you're going to choose the color that you want. Now, if you can't use the highlight tool or you're doing this on paper, what you can do is you can just make note of the important information, or you can come down here and type it. So if you can't highlight it, you can just come down here and say, Charlie read 814 pages. That way, you still know what's important. And then the last thing that I want to highlight is the part that says that was 143 pages more than Charlie's dad read. So that's going to help me figure out how to figure out how many pages Charlie's dad read. This is an extra step. I like to do it because it helps me. I'm going to come down here and I'm going to type the important information. So I'm going to type Charlie read 814 pages. Then I'm going to type Charlie's mom read 4 times as many pages as Charlie. And then the last thing, the problem says that was 143 pages more than Charlie's dad. And it's following the part about Charlie's mom. So we know that Charlie's mom read 143 pages more than Charlie's dad. Okay, so we just read, we highlighted the important information, and now this is going to help me solve my problem. So I already know how much Charlie read. So now I need to figure out how many pages Charlie's mom read. And I also need to figure out how many pages Charlie's dad read. So what I need to do now is the draw part, which is where you're going to draw your tape diagram. And to do that, you see right here where it says put the drawing of your work here, click here, and then press edit. You're going to click, and then you're going to press where it says edit. And that's going to bring up your Google drawing. You can move it over. You still can't really see it. So if you need to go back and forth between the problem and the Google drawing, all you do is click save and close. You can go back to see what you need. And then when you're ready to go back to the drawing, you can click edit again. So we're mostly going to use the scribble tool with this. because it's just the easiest. Again, if you're going to do it on paper, just take a picture and upload it. So I know that Charlie read 814 pages, and I know that his mom read 4 times as many. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw my rectangle, and you can do this with the scribble. As you can see, that's not a perfect rectangle. So if you want to get a perfect rectangle, you can make a rectangle like that. It's up to you. And then inside that rectangle, I'm going to write 814. Because I know that that's how many pages Charlie read. Then I'm going to click Save and Close, and I'm going to go back to my problem. Charlie's mom read 4 times as many pages as Charlie. Okay. So I know that this box right here is Charlie. And you can write in Charlie, you can write in a C for Charlie, you can also type it if you prefer. So I know that this one box is Charlie, but his mom read 4 times as many. So I need 4 boxes to represent 4 times as many. Well, I already have 1, so I'm going to do 3 more. If the color's filled in, you can leave it if you can draw on it, or you can make it transparent. So I need 4 boxes in total, so that's 3. And then 4. And then in each one of these, I'm going to write 814. So as you can see, it's not perfect. That's okay. If I can read it, it's fine. If you prefer to type, that's fine, but I still need the tape diagram. Okay, so even if you're going to type the numbers inside the box, that's okay, but you still have to do the tape diagram. So one of these boxes is just Charlie, and then all 4 of these is Charlie's mom. So I'm going to draw my little squiggle, and then under here, you can write Charlie's mom or you can type Charlie's mom. If you want to type, you're going to click the box with the T inside of it, and then make a text box, and then you can type Charlie's mom. All right, so to figure out how many Charlie's mom read, I need to multiply 814 times 4. So I'm going to multiply 814 times 4. I'm going to run out of space, so I'm going to write this off to the side. $814 times 4. Okay, so now I need to start multiplying. So 4 times 4 is 16. The 6 goes in the answer, and the 1 goes on the line. 4 times 110 is 4 times 10, which is 40, plus 110. So 40 plus 10 is 50. So if I'm going to put 50 in my answer, the 0 in the 1's place in 50 would be 0 plus 6. So I don't need to do anything with that 0 because the 6 is already here. Remember, I'm putting in 50 into my answer, so I don't need the 0. The 5 is in the 10's place, so the 5 goes in the 10's place in my answer. And then I'm going to mark out that 1. And I don't have any other numbers, so there's nothing I need to put on my line over here. And then 4 times 800. So 4 times 800. 4 times 8 equals 32, 2 zeros at the end of 800, 2 zeros in my answer. So 4 times 800 is 3,200. And then I need to put 3,200 into my answer. So the 0 in the ones place gets added to the 6 in the ones place. 0 plus 6 is 6. The 0 in the tens place gets added to the 5 in the tens place. 0 plus 5 is 5. And then the 2 in the hundreds place goes in my answer. And then I don't have anything left to solve. So the 3 in the thousands place also goes in my answer. So Charlie's mom reads 3,256 pages. So we know the first part. We know that Charlie's mom reads 3,256 pages. As you can see, I don't have a lot of room left on my Google Drawing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click Save and Close. That's going to save this part of the problem. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here and I'm going to put the equal sign and I'm going to say 3,256 pages. That way I can remember how many she read. And then the last thing, Charlie's mom read 143 pages more than Charlie's dad. So that means that she read more pages than him. So his number should be smaller. So what I would do is I would say, okay, well, if she reads 143 pages more, that means that I need to take the number of pages that Charlie's mom read and I need to subtract 143. Sometimes we see the word more and we add, but because she read more pages than Charlie's dad, her number has to be bigger. So if I add 143 pages to 3,256, that's going to be bigger than 3,256. Charlie's dad's number needs to be smaller. Like I said, I don't have any more room on this drawing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here where it says extra box if you need it, and then you're going to click edit. So let's do a tape diagram to represent how many pages Charlie's dad read. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with a rectangle. I'm going to start off with a pretty big rectangle. And inside of that rectangle, I'm going to write 3,256 because that's how many pages Charlie's mom read. And then I'm going to do my little squiggly. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then I'm going to write Charlie's mom up here. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do another rectangle, but I'm going to make it just a little bit smaller than Charlie's mom's rectangle. I'm going to do another squiggly. Doesn't have to be perfect. And then down here, I'm going to put Charlie's dad, because this represents how many pages Charlie's dad read. And if we remember from the problem, Charlie's mom read 143 pages more. So I'm going to draw a little squiggly right here for this part where for the difference between Charlie's mom's rectangle and Charlie's dad's rectangle. And I'm going to write, or I'm going to type 143 because that's the difference between the pages that they read. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 3,256 minus 143 because that's the difference between the two. So 3,256 minus 143. And I'm going to start asking myself if I can subtract. So in the ones place, I can subtract 6 minus 3, so I'm good there. In the tens place, I can subtract 5 minus 4, So we're good. In the hundreds place, I can subtract 2 minus 1, and then 3, this is an assumed 0, 3 minus 0, I can subtract. So anytime the number in the whole is bigger than the number in the part, meaning anytime this, like if you go to the ones place, 6 is in the whole, 3 is in the part. 6 is bigger than 3, you can subtract it. So there's no borrowing that I need to do for this problem. So I'm just going to start subtracting. 6 minus 3 is 3. 5 minus 4 is 1. 2 minus 1 is 1. And then 3, like I said, and we assume it's a 0. 3 minus 0 is 3. Don't forget your comma. So Charlie's dad read 3,113 pages. I'm going to make sure I'm going to save and close. That's the only way it's going to save your drawing. You might have to scroll down if your drawing's pretty big. That's okay. And the problem asked us, what was the total number of pages read by Charlie and his parents? Okay, so Charlie's dad read 3,113 pages. And now we need to figure out how many pages they all read together, because it says, what was the total number of pages read by Charlie and his parents? So as you can see, I don't have any more boxes to do my drawing. So what I need to do, if you need more than 2 boxes, you're going to click under the last box that you made. Then you're going to go to Insert, Drawing, press New. That's going to make a new drawing. So I know that Charlie read 846 pages. I'm going to go back up here. Nope, 814. So Charlie read 814 pages. I'm going to write it a little bit lower. His dad read 3,113. And then his mom read 3,256. So you have to show all of your work on these problems. So from finding out how many each person read to adding them all together. I'm going to go ahead and add these together and then I'll come back. Okay, I just added all those together and I found out that Charlie and his parents read 7,183 pages. So I'm going to click Save and Close. You can make this bigger if you want to. You don't have to, as long as I can see it. And then the very last thing that I need to do is I need to write my answer as a complete sentence. So I'm going to go back up to the problem and I'm going to check that I've done everything. So I read the problem R. I drew my different tape diagrams and I solved. That's the letter D in RDW. And then now I have to write my answer. What was the total number of pages read by Charlie and his parents? So I'm going to write this as a complete answer and I'm going to say the total number of pages read by Charlie and his parents is 7,183 pages. So as you can see, you have to do a lot of drawing on this. And it's because I need to be able to see your work. I need to be able to see that you understand how to do all of this. If you are working on this and you're stuck on a problem, What I want you to do is I want you to solve as much of it as you can, okay? And then what I want you to do, once you've solved as much of it as you can turn it in and then write me a message saying that I did as much as I could. That way, that'll let me know what you're understanding and what we still need to work on. All right, this is how you do these problems. If you did not finish in class, it's asynchronous work. If it's done, then you're done.